Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today is November 18th and it marks a big day for Flight Simulator because we have Game of the Year being launched today, and we also have the Reno races, which is a nice new addition to the sim. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you guys how to update your simulator to the newest version, which includes the Game of the Year content, and we'll take a look at some of the stuff that comes with that. If you guys want to see the Reno Race edition, I'm going to be making another video shortly, and you guys can watch that one also on my channel. I wanted to thank you guys again for liking the videos and subscribing to my channel. It does help me out a lot, and it helps me create newer content for you guys. So if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share the videos with your friends. Maybe it'll help them out. Okay, so let's start this update. And the first thing I do always is I like to check my Windows updates to make sure that these are up to date. So you can open up the Windows update, you can click here to check for updates. If you guys have anything pending, make sure you guys do this, because you may have something that may conflict or may stop you from running the simulator the way it's supposed to be ran. So I have an update here that just showed up. I'm going to quickly install this one, and then we'll move on to the next step. Once you do that update, if you click the check for updates again and you see that nothing else shows up, then you know that you're up to date. So I'm going to close this one now, and the next thing that I'm going to check is I'm going to look at my graphics drivers, make sure those are also up to date, because again, this is important for you to run the game. So now we want to open up our Microsoft Store, and mine may look a little bit different because I'm running Windows 11. But the concept is the same. I have a little library option at the bottom here. When I click on this, it takes me to most of my stuff that needs updating. And you'll see here that Microsoft Flight Simulator has an update. And I'm going to click on this just to see. I'm going to continue this update. And it's going to download, and this is going to be the first part. So you're going to download this first. And once this is done downloading, then we're going to go into the sim and update the remaining. Okay, now that that's done, we can close this. And next, we want to open up the sim. Okay, so after starting up the sim, the first thing I see here is that we're greeted with a new splash screen. And this is showing one of the new aircrafts that come with the Game of the Year update. And now the installation manager will load, and it'll tell us roughly how big the download is going to be for this new content, and it'll probably give us the release notes of what's included. So I'm just going to give it a couple seconds here to load, and here we go. Okay, so this is a 33.40 gigabyte download, and what I would like for you guys to check, because this is important, is the installation path for the download. So if this download is not in the correct location, then we need to change that. So for me, it is in the K folder, so I'm okay. But if this is not the right path for your flight simulator, then what you want to do is you want to click on Browse, and then here you're going to have to go and find your folder and point this to the simulator. So once this is correct, then all we have to do is we have to click on this update button, and it'll start the download. So this is a fairly large download. It's going to take a while. What we could look at in the meantime is I'm just going to open up here the release notes. So this is version 1.21.13.0, and I'll just slowly pull down here just so you guys can see all the new stuff that's included. I know that they're adding the F-18, which is right here, and I think this was going to come out with that Maverick expansion, but they ended up just releasing the aircraft with this update. There are some other aircraft like the Volocopter and I forget the other ones, but I know there was a couple of more. There's the PC6 Porter. I believe this is the one that was on that front splash screen when we got into the sim. And then there's a whole bunch of new airports and areas. And I'll slowly scroll down just in case you guys want to pause and read. There's some stability improvements, navigation, weather, some VR updates, accessibility, activity, and there's some updates to planes. There's some world updates, so fixes for crashes, autogen buildings, water masks have been added. That's nice. The UI has had some fixes. One thing, I don't personally use it, but the Tobii eye tracker, I know that was something that a lot of people had requested. That's on there now. And SDK. And there's some known issues at the bottom here. Okay. So I'm going to let this download because it's still going to take me a while. But once this is done, I'll continue with the rest of the tutorial. So guys, before I go any further, I wanted to bring up a point. I know a lot of you guys, when you do the updates before you get to this step, I know you like to copy the content that you have in your community folder and put it in another location, like your desktop in another folder there, or another temporary location, and then do the update, start up the sim, and if everything is okay, then you move the content back into the community folder. I personally don't do it that way because I haven't had any issues, to be honest. And if I do the update the way that I'm doing it now, and I start up the sim and I see that there's a problem, I could still do that process of removing the stuff from the community folder, you know, and then slowly putting stuff back in until I find the mod or whatever it is that's in that folder that's causing the issue. So you can do it either way, but I just wanted to remind you guys, if you prefer to do that method where you remove the stuff before the update, just before you start this, yeah, remove the stuff, put it in a temporary folder, do this update, and then you can move the stuff back. Okay, now that we're back in the sim, like I said, before we start looking at anything new, we're going to take a look at the content manager to make sure that there's no updates that are pending. And I see here there's 11 of them, so what you want to do is you want to put a check mark here. And again, yours may vary, you may have less, you may have more. It's dependent on the content that you have already installed on your sim and whether there's updates for it or not, or if there's anything that's new that's been added. So once you put a check mark here, at the top right where it says select all, I'm going to select them all. And then at the bottom it's going to say download. So this is an additional 4.41 gigabytes. You're going to click download. And then again, you're just going to let this finish off. And once these are all downloaded, we're going to take a look at some of the new content that's been added. Now let's look at the options. I know they've incorporated DirectX 12. So right here, so you see it says DirectX version. It's currently on DirectX 11. So if you want to continue keeping the sim on a stable platform, you want to keep it on DirectX 11. If you want to try DirectX 12, you just change it to DirectX 12. You'll see here it says beta. This is more for future-proofing the sim. It's not going to really make any kind of change currently if you change it to 12, unless you want to just test it to make sure that it's stable. But in the future, I'm sure people will create content and develop things for the sim that'll incorporate the DirectX 12, maybe even take advantage of things like ray tracing. So that stuff is coming, and I think the new weather system that's incorporated with this update, I think that uses the DirectX 12. I'm not 100% sure, but you don't have to change it if you don't want to. If you just want to keep it stable, just leave it on DirectX 11. If you do change it to 12, just know that once you hit apply and save, you will have to restart the sim. Okay, so let's go see the stuff you guys are all waiting for. So if we go into the world map, I'm not going to spend too much time here, but you guys know that there were some new airports that were handcrafted added. There was some more photogrammetry cities. and some new locations that were updated recently. So all that was part of the download. Now let's get into the aircrafts. And I'm just going to scroll to the top and we'll just make our way down. I'm just going to tell you guys any new aircrafts that I notice off the bat. I know there are some variations of the current aircrafts I have, but I'm just going to scroll down, just quickly give you guys an idea. So this Pit Special, this I know is a new aircraft because I don't recognize it from before. I believe this Pit Special S2S is also new. And I'm just showing you this so you guys can take a look at the specs. And here's the F-18. This is also new. And as I continue to scroll down, so this Cub Crafters NX Cub, this one is new. I think it's a variation of the existing X Cub. So as I continue to scroll down, I think most of these, I may miss it, guys. I'm sorry if I see something that, if you guys see something that I missed, just let me know. But I'm just quickly kind of scanning through these. So this PC-6, this is also a new aircraft, so we have a couple of different variations. It looks like some have different liveries, and this one here has the floats. But I didn't have this aircraft before, so all these are new. And as I continue to scroll down, again, most of these I had already in the past. So here's the Volo City. This is the that helicopter type aircraft that was German made. And that's the specs on it. I'll be trying this one out later on because this will seem pretty cool. And that's it. So that's at the bottom of my list. So again, I may have missed something. If there's any new aircrafts in here, hopefully you guys caught it, or you can stop the video and take a look back. So let's take a look at another new feature. So just before I show you guys this last feature, I just wanted to mention that I noticed in the menu, if you go to your assistance options, it may do this to yours, it may not, but I found that all of mine were reset back to easy. I had to go through all of these and change them back to what I had them before, or at least most of them. I did notice that they had, I believe it's under experience here, yeah, they added G Effect, which there's a description there on the right, and G Suit. So I'll turn these both on. The only problem is this one here has a jet pilot and a civil pilot, so I'll leave it on jet for now. I'm going to apply and save. So this is incorporated, and along with these new updates, they also have wake turbulence, I believe, that was added to the sim. It's hard to show you guys because we're not really racing right now or have any aircrafts in front of us, but I believe it is in the sim and it's working. So those are kind of under the hood updates that they did. And above and beyond that, so the last feature I wanted to show you guys, they did mention this in the release, they did mention it in the Q&A, but they didn't really explain it or show how it worked, and it's kind of hidden. So I just played around with it for a little bit and I figured out where it is and how to use it, kind of. So I'm going to show you guys what I did. So I'm talking about the replay from the developers mode that they were talking about. So to get to that, you want to push escape on your keyboard, or at least get to your menu. And then from here, you want to go to your general options. And in general options, on the left hand side here, you'll see developers. You want to click there and you want to turn this on. Now you don't need to leave this on, we can turn this off in a second, but you see you get a toolbar at the top of the screen here. And this toolbar is the developer's toolbar. So what you want to do is you want to go here to options. And when you click on options and you scroll down to experimental, you'll see that there's enable replay panel. So you're going to put a check mark in this. Okay. Sorry, let me show you guys. So there's a check mark in there that means that it's now on. And then once you click on apply and save, okay, now we can go ahead and turn this off because we don't need that toolbar anymore. Apply and save again, go back, and we'll resume. So now to get to that toolbar, if you go up to this toolbar, you're going to see that if you click on the gear, if it hasn't already done so and you scroll down, you're going to see that there's a replay function here. So before, this was actually turned off before we turned it on in the developers toolbar at the top, but now I can actually enable it or disable it. And you'll see in the toolbar there's a new square that has like a little play sign with a replay arrow. So right underneath it, it says replay. So in order to use this, what you want to do is you want to click on that. And again, I'm not the greatest with this thing, but I'm going to show you guys kind of how I used it and figured out how it works. So the only option you have right now is sequence recording. This is the only button that you have available. So what we want to do is we want to click on that and it'll start recording. So you see now you have the option to stop, and you'll have a set sequence location, which we don't have to use that yet. So now that it's recording, I'm just going to close out of it, and I'm just going to, just for a test, let's just take off. And then we'll try and use that replay function to see what it looks like. And this is the beautiful Yonkers aircraft. This is a payware, but it's well worth the money. So here we go. We're taking off, and I'm just going to do a couple more seconds just so we have some more time to play with on the replay function. And we'll go to the exterior view. And I can rotate. So up until now, nothing has really changed. I can move the camera around the way I want. I can pan, zoom. Okay. So now what we want to do is, let's go back here, open up that replay function again. And it's still recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording here. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the play button. And it takes you all the way back to the runway, so the beginning. So you see it starts to play here on this timeline. So it's about 1 minute and 18 seconds. So the timeline starts to play, and you'll see on your screen the actual replay itself. Now, if you try to view any other camera angle or anything else, you can't do it yet. So what I'm going to do, I found this button down here that says camera track recording. I don't know what the function of this is, but I'll show you what it does. If you click on it, it kind of changes your camera to an exterior view. So when you're on the exterior view, now you're able to move the camera around in any direction that you want. You can look up, down, you can go back into the aircraft, exterior, and you can zoom in and out. So I can stop this, and again now I can't move or change the camera in any direction, but you see the aircraft is still moving. So I found that to be pretty neat. So if I click on this again, it just puts me right back to where the aircraft is. So at the top you'll also notice that you have this button. The aircraft just stopped because the replay stopped. But you'll see that there's a set sequence location. So you can use this, if you click on it, this will allow you to pick a location for the camera. So if I put it, let's say here behind the wing, and I just click on reset location, I guess now if I try to replay again, you see now I can't see the aircraft. So if I click on this button, camera track recording, it puts me right behind the wing of the aircraft again. So you'll see, I'll just go to fast forward. The fast forwarding function doesn't seem to be working very well, so I just got to kind of let it play out a little bit. So here we go. So you see as the aircraft starts to move, I can still pan and move around the aircraft, but the aircraft always goes back to behind the wing. So if I stop and track again, and again if I stop it, you'll see that, I'm just going to close it for a second, you get these nice shots of the aircraft taking off and the camera kind of sluggish from behind. So that's pretty much it. I thought that was pretty useful because I know it's not easy for some people to find that location. But hopefully that helps you guys out and it helps you capture some nice footage from your flights. And of course you saw that you had there the options to save as, load at the bottom. So again, it's not perfect. I know Microsoft and Asobo said that they were working on it to make it more user-friendly in future updates, but they just wanted to give everybody what they had now, just so that you can use it to make your own content. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope again that this was helpful and that this will help you guys get your sims up to date with all the new content and great stuff that they put in there for us. And if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot again in the videos. And if you guys have some time, make sure you leave a like and share the video. It might help somebody else. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one.